Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about some things that, the title says is eBay is actively creating negative customer experiences. And I'm not even sure they realize they're doing it. So I don't want it to be like, okay, well, why would eBay, intentionally create a bad customer experience? I really think that eBay thinks that they're doing well, and their app is laid out for a good customer experience. But when you take everything and put it together, it just, if you're on the outside looking in, I guess if you're not in the boardroom, or if you're not one of these developers that work at eBay, a non-seller that has an interest in this, then you will see that, wow, this is a fine job. We got all these other listings that are in your listing, and this is a great way to build revenue. But if you're a seller looking at it, it's just a hot mess. And I only bring this up because I'm seeing problems arise more now than ever. I think the buyer gets a bad rap. We talk about the buyer not reading the listings, and there's some truth to that. Okay. But eBay doesn't make it easy, and more people are using the app. And I'm kind of focusing on the app in this discussion because more and more users are going to the app. It's more of a convenient thing to do than to fire up your computer and to type in, ebay.com and to search that way, even though there's a lot of old school users that still do it that way. And it just makes me wonder what in the world's going on. What is eBay thinking when they develop? Now, none of this is new. And I almost didn't even want to talk about it because it's not, I don't want it to come off as just some seller complaining about things. But my hope is that eBay is listening. I've heard that eBay does listen to these complaints or issues and videos that we put out. And my hope is that they'll really consider the idea that what they're doing is not productive, it's not helpful, and it's causing what I call a high effort customer experience. What I mean by that is anything you do, and this I learned back at Amtrak. Basically, anything that you do as a company that makes your buyer or your customer have to go through extra steps and extra processes and various things like that, the harder it is to retain that customer. They at some point they'll reach a frustration level where they're just like, I don't want to deal with this company anymore. So this is just me reaching out with feedback saying, hey, this isn't working. And I had someone who bought, and I'll show you here in a second, an item from us. And I think I did what I could to make this evident that they were buying a parts and repair item. And if it wasn't for the fact that the buyer had reached out to us about expedited shipping this morning, wanting to have it expedited, I'm like, well, who would want to expedite something that's parts repair? I don't know, maybe they do, but I answered their question and offered them expedited shipping, but also stated, hey, did you realize, I just want to make sure that that this thing doesn't work. And wouldn't you know, they had no idea. And it's because when you list an item, your item description is not easily seen by the buyer. In fact, it's just a link and it's not part of the listing. Where they're in the app, they're just scrolling right past it. And it doesn't even really look like a hyperlink.
Weird. We froze.
Did we? Doesn't even look like a hyperlink. And I did some thinking, like, why does eBay focus on AI item description? Why are they really wanting us to put an item description? And they're not really making it easy for the buyer to see it. You got to know it's there. Oh, that little thing that says item description. I want to show you, for those of you who aren't really familiar with the app, and this is an actual video that I did on my phone, and this is of the item in question that we sold and ended up canceling. So you can see here, this is the Dyson motor unit, and here are all the different photos we took, but you can see the title, V11 S14 main body motor and cyclone assembly, and I put read because I ain't wasting half of my title for parts or repair. your title is there to be filled with keywords, not with disclaimers. So if you scroll down, you see right there for parts or not working. You see right there, full description. Now you actually, that little blurb you got to click on, otherwise you miss it. If you miss the first part that says for parts are not working, and then see full description, which you do, you can see that I actually have the information there that it's being sold for parts or repair and blah, blah, blah. But if you don't click on that hyperlink, and there's nothing else down below but just feedback stuff and maybe some other listings that are similar, but that's it. And that's a problem, guys. This is not an easy buyer experience. When they're seeing that, they're not, half the time, they're not reading the listing because they don't see it. They're just scrolling right by, and it should be an integral part of your listing and not a hyperlink. You know, why does eBay want you to put that? Maybe you have maybe a tear or maybe a stain on your item. Why do they want you to put that in there? And then the buyer doesn't take time to read it, and it's an INAD as if you didn't do it, you didn't list it at all, because I guess if the buyer doesn't see it, you didn't do it, right? And it's just something that I think that eBay needs to do better. Now, on another note, put that aside, this whole idea where eBay is harassing buyers, and Primo was talking about this today, he ended up getting a neutral feedback because eBay harassed his buyer who had not left any kind of feedback and said, leave feedback for your seller. And I guess they got tired of being harassed and they left a neutral feedback because they were sick of the harassment. And when eBay sends you a message in the eBay messaging, you also get an email. Sometimes people don't want that, right? People want to buy their item, they want to use it, and they want to be done with it. They don't want to be harassed. Yet eBay thinks it's so important for your buyer to leave a feedback. And this also goes hand in hand with eBay. And I don't know if they're doing this lately, but they have done this in the past, in the very recent past, where they have contacted buyers and reminded them that they had the option to return the item within 30 days. Why would you do that? I mean, if the buyer has a problem with the item, they will seek out a way to get that item returned. Trust me. But returns are more prevalent now than they've ever been for that reason, and the reason I first described, where they cannot see the item description. I had another one. This person was asking me questions. It was I priced it at $70 for parts or repair. Normally sells pre-owned for $300 to $400, right? This thing, only half of the unit worked. For whatever reason, the left half didn't work. Had that described perfectly in the listing. Guy thought he was getting a great deal and was asking me questions about, something else, if it came with cables, even though the picture showed that it came with cables. Come on. And it's like I had to tell him, hey, this only half the unit works. Why should I have to do that if I took the time? And I know there's people out there that are proactive, that they will reach out to their buyer after they bought it and say, hey, did you know it's missing this accessory? Or, even though you put that in the listing. And my thought is, why should you have to take the extra time to do that, take that extra step, when eBay themselves, aren't willing to help us out and give us a listing that has that information that we've taken the time to put in there. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm calling eBay out, and I'm hopeful that they will actually listen and maybe incorporate some of this feedback and take the information that we're putting in there and make it visible for these buyers so that they actually have the opportunity to read. So I blame it on the buyer. I blame that also on eBay.
I have a question.
What?
Why don't you put in the title for parts?
Because the title is to fill your item with keywords. I want my item to come up in a relevant search.
Well, that is a keyword.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Because if I have, okay, well, we can debate that all you want. We can debate that all you want, but I'm telling you right now, if I fill half of my title with things that I feel is relevant to the item, that's not relevant to the item itself, I want to fill keywords so that the buyer can find my item in search. I'm not listing my item, whether it is missing a remote control, it's perfectly functional, or other things like that. Now, I may put no remote if I have a room at the end, but I'm not going to put for parts or repair only, because then that kills about 20 to 25 letters out of my 80 character max.
Okay.
And I will put something like read.
But here's my argument. You're putting a title of something that you're listing, right? But that product doesn't work properly. So it doesn't matter what the features are. So don't bother putting them in the title. It's basically what you see is what you get. So 4 parts. You don't have to do 4 parts and repair only. You can do 4 parts.
If there's room that's available. But if there's not room available in that, then I'm not going to do that. Also, they have if you have an item that has multiple variations, maybe one is 1500 watts, maybe one is only 1000 watts, you're telling them which unit they're getting when they're buying that unit. So it's a descriptive, the title is descriptive of what is the product, what product am I receiving? And the whole idea that they're buying for parts or repair,
that they know that it's 4 parts.
And that's what your item description is for, and your condition description.
I get what
and
you're
I have
saying.
that in both places. And in neither case does eBay take the time to make that visible.
I get what you're saying.
But if you're not listening, how are you going to know these pain points? That's my question. I mean, if we're going to go there, if you're going to put me out on blast like that.
I'm not putting you on blast.
I'm just saying.
Asking you a question.
And I gave you an answer.
It should be
if you're listening. It should be
obviously in the title that people, because they're not reading descriptions.
Well, then why do we even have to have an item description in the first place?
It's a good question.
I mean, really, why have an item description in the first place? Just have it in the title. And then the buyer buys it. They should be looking at the photos. The answer is obvious. There should be an item description, but eBay's not displaying it. So why is there a big hubbub to have your item description filled out when it's not being shown? Right?
I'm done. Go.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're done.
No.
So let's see who's with us today. And we do have a new member. I thought you were a member already, Keith.
Oh, and I tried to become.
Thank you.
My free membership ran out on Primo's thing. There is nowhere when he's live for me to become a member.
On Primo?
Yeah.
I
have clicked everywhere. I even went to Google and looked how to become a member, which should be very obvious. But it's not there. There's no option.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. Primo, you have to give her the answer to that one. Andy Reno says first. And of course, Keith is second. So if you're not first, you're last.
He probably just had to.
But he's first.
His membership.
Yeah, he.
Thank you,
Keith,
for
that.
doing
Appreciate that. Yes, that's awesome of you. Flipping from the trailer is third. Flipping from the trailer says, how's everyone tonight? And waiting for a hurricane.
Oh God, I sure hope you guys get out of there. This is not looking good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here the last couple weeks with this weather stuff, but it's no good.
I am absolutely
no good. There's nothing good that's come out of it at all. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna in chat. I'm in the eBay Rollercoaster this week. Strong sales all week until Saturday, then 3 on Sunday. Usually my best day, and crickets today, usually my second best day. I got to tell you, we're down 23% on the main store. And it's not all that good. And I just got to say that I'm just going to keep pushing forward. We're getting sales sporadically. We have a good sales day, and then we'll have a couple turds. So we're just going to keep pushing turds. Talking to the toilet seat guy, so I could say that. Pitco says, had to renew membership. Okay. Well, thank you for being a member and renewing. It's weird it didn't auto-renew.
Thank you for renewing your membership.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Mike Camperley says, I clicked the button already. I really need it. The like button. Yeah, hit that like button. Get a sale within the next 24 hours. Your account's been doing pretty good.
I know, but I don't want it to fall off.
It's the quality listings that are being put up on that account. I tell you.
Don't continue, because
Jackie,
you're just gonna you're poking a bear that is already pissed off.
Why are you pissed off?
I'm not in a good headspace. So let's just keep.
It's not anything I did, right?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Us guys got to make sure that we're not the cause of the the upset. So Jackie says, hello all. I had 70-year-old seahorse earrings and pin encased in plastic from Bermuda taken down. Endangered species issue. AI has gone amok.
What the?
Seahorses are endangered? That's very strange.
That is so stupid.
I don't know. Ryan Labs is with us. Thanks for being here.
Sup?
And Mike says, I don't know if you read my comment on Profit Playbook podcast this week, but eBay's antics are just too predictable. So sad that they just don't give a darn about us sellers. It just doesn't make sense at all. And I do have to apologize to you and every person who has commented on this latest episode of the Profit Playbook podcast. I just haven't had an opportunity to look at it. And, my son and his wife were here over the weekend. Of course, when that happens, I call all of them distractions. So like Mike, when you come, it's actually next week you're coming. You were going.
You said it was.
I thought it was this for some reason. My mind.
I thought it was next week.
It is next week.
He came out yesterday. And
it is next week.
Oh, did you know Mike's going to be here this week? And I'm like, no, he's not.
So you get to be one of those distractions next week, Mike. And I'm glad.
We love your distractions.
Yeah, and that's just what I call it. It's something that takes you away, whether it's something that's a fun thing, right, or something that's not. It's something that's taking you away from the focus of the business. And that's what happened this weekend. And my son and I, we went to downtown, played little cards, and won some money, and went to dinner. And that whole day was just shot. So I just didn't have a chance between that and yesterday. But I will be looking at it very soon.
You busted ass yesterday.
Yeah, and I did today too. I've been really on a mission because when my sales are slow, down 23.1%. Not good. I mean, we are at now a lot of people would say otherwise. Last 31 days at 12,432, but that's a drop of 23.1% over the last 30 days. And this is kind of what happened last year to us. And I thought it was because of the lack of sourcing. Now that we have good sourcing and we're still seeing this pattern, hopefully we can find our way out of it, and just keep listing good stuff.
We always do.
Callie Deb says, hello, John, Jen, and chat. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but sales have picked up on all 4 platforms that I sell on. I think that's awesome. I'd love to hear it, because when I hear that, it gives me hope that, hey, sales are not going down for everyone. It's certainly possible for everyone. Josh Galt, Lighthouse Effect in full force today, from 1,100 to sales day to $15.
Oh.
Also had a
UX.
UX change? What's
UX?
I don't know. It's a UX change on the PC.
Exchange?
On the PC listing site for me today. I don't know, Josh. I don't know if that's Canadian
exchange. Where the person, I don't know.
Is exchange like a Canadian word for exchange?
I don't know.
Mike Camparelli says, way to go, Callie Debs. No jinxing at all. Keep it up. Yes.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And I agree, Josh. Stay safe, Florida.
Yes, please. Everybody just go as far. I don't know where you can go. I don't have the answers, but it looks scary as all hell. And I know that I would be freaking out.
Gail says, hi, John, Jenna, and the whole flippin' family. Sunny, cool day in Nebraska. That's where you go. Everyone.
Okay, I want to go to Nebraska.
Everyone, let's all do a meetup in Nebraska so that we can make sure that we're safe.
Yeah, we're all going to meet up at Gail's house.
Joe Samard says, good afternoon, FAE folks. Sitting here wishing these 100-degree days would go away.
Me too.
Well,
Joe,
it's 99.
Me too. No, it's 100. It is 100. We are not expected to dip below.
Larry Todd says, Silver Hair says, howdy, old geezer checking in.
No, he's the Santa of reselling.
Brenda says, hello, everyone. Rainy day, Monday in Massachusetts.
Rainy day, Brenda.
I'll take
Enjoy it.
Duncan says, hello. I hit the like and got crickets. They got louder. Well, you got to give it 24 hours, Duncan. I'm telling you. You get sales anyway. I don't want to hear it. Glenda says, hi, John and Jenna, plus all the great FAE family just prepping for Hurricane Milton all day here in Florida.
Glenda.
Who names these hurricanes anyway?
Well,
Milton?
They're supposed to be in ABC order, and I thought that, so H, and then how did we go to M?
It's storms. So if the storm doesn't form into a hurricane, it's already named. and they go A through Z, and it's now on the M storm. So if Milton would have fizzled out somewhere, the next hurricane would have been N, as in Nancy or something like that. Pitco just got my sale.
Yeah. See?
Andy Reno, and I also found a bin of inventory today that was no longer on eBay. Everybody do their inventory.
Yes, it happens. It happens to us frequently.
A bin, think about that. A bin of inventory. So we are getting close to maxed out as far as our normal area to put stuff away. We have those other racks that we're going to get to here pretty soon. I'm wondering, though, to myself, how many of those items are just sitting there, not listed? And even worse, how many items do you have that are listed and the item's nowhere in sight? That's even worse. Henri Squaw says, howdy, John, Jenna, and chat. This topic sounds interesting. I mean, it is. And I just think that this is something we've been dealing with for a long time. We know that little hyperlink has been there for the item description. I mean, everyone has that item that has something not quite right with it, right? It's not pristine, and there's maybe something that we want to let the buyer know about, and it won't fit in the title. It's something that needs a little explanation, and that's what the item description is for. Now, the theory that I've had was the item description was just a repository for keywords that don't fit in the title. That's for the the algorithm to see that you've mentioned that word that the buyer actually typed in their search, and that helps it populate. But I really have mixed feelings about that. Why does eBay put the buyers or the sellers in the position of getting an INAD when the information we want the buyer to know, the detailed information, is just not readily available? And this is the thing where eBay just doesn't put themselves in the seller's shoes, and they really need to create this so that it's beneficial for the buyer and the seller. Anytime a buyer has to return an item, that's a bad buyer experience. Whether it's the buyer's fault or the seller's fault, that buyer now has to go through extra steps to return that item. And we need to do everything we can to get that buyer to read the item description. But if you're hiding it and tucking it away through your technology, you'd rather show other people's listings in my listing. That to me is just no good. It's not a good buyer experience at all. Daddy Games says, howdy from UK. Clicking the like for a sale. In terms of negative experience for buyers, I've noticed that there are quite a few different glitches lately in both the app and the website. I agree with that. Also, I believe I haven't received a tracking number from Jaden's, but they are going to be sending that here very soon. As soon as I get information from them, I'll pass it on to you.
Did you send?
I sent them the information, and it's now on them to ship it out. Andy says, here we go. Diet Tribe time. Now, let me ask you guys, in all seriousness, I know it's kind of a running joke, but do you guys like starting the show off with some kind of material? And this diatribe that's about 10 minutes long, are you guys good with that? Or would you rather see it like the format change? One, if you're good with it. Two, if you're not. I'd like to see what you guys think about that. Ping G says, happy Monday, John and Jenna and the chat. Nice to see you, Ping. Flip It Good says, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Chastity says, hello all. Hope everyone is having a good day.
Oh, I hope you're having a good day, Chastity.
Yeah.
And you changed your picture. It's so cute.
Mike Seller says, hello, John, Jenna, and FA family. Ranger says, Skull 5-0. What's Skull? I know what it is, but I want her to tell me.
I don't know.
You want to guess?
5-0.
Has something that I do on Sundays.
Football. It has something to do with football.
Is
it college football?
No, that's Saturdays.
I don't know.
It's the Vikings. They're 5-0. And
who?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Skull?
I guess that's what the crazy Vikings used to yell as Skull. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like when you're watching a soccer
game.
Hi,
Ranger. Give him some pets for me.
Spam Banshee says, aloha. Packing eBay sale. Last minute trying to get to FedEx before they
You
close.
better hurry up,
Hustle.
spam.
I mean, I think they closed already. It depends on what kind of drop-off facility. Like ours, they close at 4:30 Pacific time, and then if you miss that, you got to go all the way near the Air Force base, and they have this facility where you go inside, and they have 2 security guards at this window, and you give them the package. I'm like, why am I handing all this package to you? What the hell are you gonna? You're not a worker at FedEx, but they put it on a conveyor belt, and it gets sent somewhere, and it looked and felt kind of sketchy, but it made it to its destination, so I guess it works. But I just don't want to go through that ever again, having to trek all the way over there. Duncan says eBay sales still going strong, getting more stock delivered today. September was a huge month. Yeah, September kind of fizzled out for us. We're trying to get back going with Q4 now. Christopher Nutter's with us. Thanks for being here.
Chris.
Rockin' Yard Sale. Good evening.
Good evening.
Duncan says, did you get over to the casino, John? Looks like a ghost today.
He sure
I
is.
tell you, I was feeling like a ghost because when we first started off, my son and I were going to do the whole let's go to every casino and play blackjack thing. And after the second casino, I was down 250, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't going to work. I'm not doing this. So I said, let's go over to Gold Nugget. Let's sit in a poker game and let's play. And he made a little money. I turned 300 into 750. And then on the way out, we had to validate my parking at Binion's. Heaven forbid I'm going to spend $12 for parking. Mm-hmm. So I sat down at a blackjack table and won another 300. I could have won. I was in a big hand where I had $200 out there. I doubled down with 2 3s against the 4, and the dealer made their hand. So I still won. Hill Valley Vintage says, did hell finally freeze over? The New York Giants won a game? Tell me about it. I actually went for Seattle in my survivor pool, the football survivor pool. There's only 6 teams left, and got knocked out. Midnight Merchant says, happy flipping Monday, y'all.
Happy flipping
I'm about
Monday.
To sneeze here. I need to not to sneeze. That doesn't help any. Tiffany Antrim says, happy to finally catch your live. Love your tips and advice. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, we love you guys being here, and you guys are what we look forward to on our Mondays and Fridays.
You're the only reason I put on makeup.
Read some comments. I gotta go sneeze here.
Okay. Duncan, happy moist day. Of course you would do that. Why don't you just jump on the moist train? Samantha, hello, John and Jenna. Is your temperature getting lower? Hope you're well. Our temperature is 100 degrees today, and I'm over it. You guys know I'm over it.
Don't you love it when you know you got to sneeze, but you can't? Okay. Rockin' Yard Sale says, I deal in vintage toys. Not sure if that's on your wheelhouse or not. If it is, how do you decide to lot items up versus sell them individually? Well, anything is in my wheelhouse. I had a chance to buy that lady's garage, and it's full of bar.
We didn't.
I almost did. Because I knew that all I had to do was offer her $300, and she was going to let me have access to that garage and all the vintage Barbies and all the different things that she had there that she really thought was worth a whole lot. But when I showed her some comps, she wasn't all that happy about it, and she just wanted to clean that garage. I probably still can contact her because she contacted me.
Let's not let the ship sail.
I got a storage unit to put it.
Let the ship sail.
But if I had bought that lot of stuff, I would have gone through it and found the valuable ones, the ones that have value, based on the comps, listed those separately, and then take the like items and lot them out. And so, like for instance, I have these toner cartridges I bought. I got them for like a couple bucks a piece. They're brand new Lexmark toner cartridges, and this particular model just ain't selling. And I have got like 6 or 7 of them. Well, they're tying up space. And I think at this point I'm going to, because they haven't sold, even though there's a few sold comps, I'm just going to put them up all in one lot and have someone buy them up at a cheap price. And someone will. And that's kind of how you have to do it. If you have stuff, vintage or not, whether you like them or not. If you have stuff that's slow sellers, in my opinion, if they've been sitting for a while, it's time to find a way to lot those things up, move on from them so you can buy a little bit better. Andy says, first 2 words of your title, parts only. The first 5 words got to be what the buyer's looking for. Now,
it's a part. They're looking for a part.
I doubt they're typing in parts, though. If someone could get a brand new of whatever they're looking for at a good deal, they'll take it. I mean, they find something that's within their price range. I don't see buyers typing in parts only.
We sell parts all day, every day for all types of gadgets and gizmos.
Sounds like she's signing up for this.
I am looking for a part for a Dyson V11. I'm going to put parts for Dyson V11 and see what comes up. I will narrow my search down if it's not giving me what I need. But I think, I really honestly, I think you're wrong this time.
I could be, but you know what? I'm going to keep doing what I do.
No.
Samantha says, I spoke to eBay.
Go in and change it.
I love it. Or we can just have you list it. There's a lot of parts.
That's a no. That's just not.
Samantha says, I spoke to eBay agent today, had an issue where I had an offering, but there was no watcher. So where was the buyer? Agent told me they're having system problems. So you had no buyer? That's weird. Christopher Nutter, I put parts and repair in the title so they see it. Rockin' Yard Sale says, I just picked up over 300 vintage Ghostbusters from 80s and early 90s.
Ghostbusters.
Grams and Pops Vintage. Happy Monday, resellers.
Hey.
Chastity says, I noticed a week or so ago that there was a description in the app, but it was all written together, not bulleted like I put them in, but the next day it was all back to having click to see full description. Yeah. I just think, you saw the video of me going through the listing in the app. The fact that there's more just garbage in there than actual stuff for your listing, to me, it's not set up properly. Becky says, this kind of off topic, but I just had an eBay seller ask me to buy something else from their store in order to get a replacement for a defective DVD they sent me.
That's weird.
But why would they have you buy another item?
Something else from their store in order to get a replacement. So they want you, in order to justify the shipping, they want you to buy.
Yeah, that's a no.
Something else. That's a negative.
That's a no. They can either send you the one that's functional or send you a label to return it and let's undo this deal.
Yeah.
But to make you buy something else just so that they don't have to be out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it.
That's not how business is run.
Midnight Merchant says eBay should add a checkbox prior to purchasing parts and repair items that they understand the listing description. I 100% agree with you.
I agree 1,000%.
We had this guy that messaged us about that. So you guys watched the videos that I put out about a month or two ago. I think they're the Panamax, that voltage regulator that was a swap out where the guy swapped the board out, and the transformer, whatever the hell, that heavy thing was like rolling inside, banging around inside. And it was obvious that he swapped out the boards for a number of reasons. There's some people that are still like, they don't feel like it necessarily was a swap out, but all the signs were there. And so I took photos of the inside, right, of this mess, and I actually taped down the transformer to the case. I didn't roll around. I had nowhere else to put it, just in case they needed it, and sold it for parts or repair to someone for a little bit less because it's a hot mess. And someone bought it, and they were like, why does this thing look like it was dropped from 10 to 15 feet? And I'm like, no, the photos are very clear. There's a reason why this was listed this way, and it's all in the listing. He didn't respond back, but it's like, come on. Chastity, I should have screenshot it. Yeah, it's a good idea, especially when you're reporting that to eBay. Just Plain Bill says, good afternoon, J&J.
Well, hello, Bill.
Nice to see you. Samantha was also saying on her situation, I couldn't even contact the buyer, see if they were interested. They did offer, no pun intended, to contact them for me, but I was told to give it some time. Offer stands until wow, we got a novel going on here. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. I told the agent I didn't want them to think I was not responding to the buyer's question. because I did respond properly back to the buyer. What a mess. Promptly.
Yeah, what a mess. I mean, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it though.
A Rockin' Yard Sale says you guys are making this too complicated, something that eBay will never put in place. Same as we have to prove items were not returned as sent out. Buyers should have to prove reasons for return. Well, I agree with that, and they give the buyer the opportunity to put photos in when they are submitting the return, and that's fine. I mean, I would expect that, but how many? And I'll ask everyone, how many returns have you had that do you feel that could have been avoided if eBay would have given the buyer easier access to your item description, where you explain that, it's not quite whatever, something's wrong with it. Something isn't perfect with this item, and this is why. We've all had that item, and how many of us had a return because we thought, oh, the buyer didn't read because I had it all in the listing, and it's partially because I'm sure they didn't either they don't read, they just skim through it, or it's not easily accessible. Grams and Pops Vintage, eBay has a lot to learn about trust building and conversion optimization. I agree. They really do need to have somebody in on that boardroom whenever they're making decisions on what they're going to do with their website. They really need to have someone in there and say, what do you think about this change? Yeah. How does this affect your flow? I'm willing to bet most sellers would prefer that there not be a hyperlink in where it says item description. Maybe show the item description instead of someone else's items that they're trying to sell in my listing. Biff Boffo, eBay trashed up their layout by placing all their greedy promoted listing ads above the item description. Putting read in a title is ineffective. I would put for parts in the title. That make everyone happy if I just put.
It will make me happy, and that's all that matters.
Fine.
I mean,
you guys win.
Of course, we want to make you happy, but
someone's at the door.
Hate to tell you, but if mommy ain't happy, nobody happy. Back up, please.
Jeez, what's going on with you today?
Get up.
She's having a moment, isn't she? Just plain Bill, they do that because they want to lose sellers. That's the only reason that makes sense. But why would they want to lose sellers? So I'm just trying to look at this at a logical standpoint. It's easy to get upset. It's easy to get angry at eBay and to really look at it as eBay hates sellers, because there's been moments I've felt that way in the past. But if you look at it from the standpoint, eBay is here to make money. They're here to make money, to pad their pockets, to take care of their investors. That's number one. Now, once that's done, now their secondary focus is buyer retention. How do they keep the buyers on the platform? Because without the buyers, we're a bunch of sellers sitting here going, why isn't anyone buying my stuff? Right? So buyer retention second. Third is us, the seller. But I think by the time they get to us, they're kind of just done. It's like, we're just going to put out, what we think is best. And if it works for you, it works for you. Because honestly, this format has been out for quite a while, and it's just the returns are getting worse, guys. And I've had a number of, like this other one. How about this other one? This is one I was thinking about making a video about. This buyer bought this vacuum from me and worked perfectly, but whoever returned it in this Amazon pallet did not have the charger and did not have, I don't know if there was a wall mount or anything for this, like a wall mount for the vacuum, because this thing stands up by itself. So nonetheless, I sold it without those things and shipped it out. Buyer stated that the box was damaged and there was a crack in the canister of this vacuum. It's one of those vacuums you can take apart and make it into a dust buster, or you can make it into a stick vacuum. And she said that canister was busted. And she also said that the flap was missing. Now I'm wondering, wait, how could a flap, it's like the flap where the dust goes, it opens for the dust to go in there, or the dirt to go in. How could a flap be missing on an item that's broken from transit? So I started asking questions, and then she's like, well, where's the charger? I need you to send me the charger. Okay, now I know she didn't read the item, the description. Does not come with the charger. I put that clearly in two places, item condition and in the item description. then she said, well, just send me a return label because, it's not what I wanted. So I ended up sending her, because, she opens up an INAD, right? So I send a return label and I get the thing back. Not only is the canister perfect, there's no crack there. The flap, when you turn it upside down, the flap opens. And then when you turn it this way, the flap comes down.
Frozen.
It's not, there was no broken item. And here's the deal. I shipped it them with it had one bar on the charge, right? On the display on the vacuum. When I got it back, it had 3. Yet she was wanting the charger. It turns out that she kept one of the pieces, the accessories, the crevice tool nozzle, the little crevice tool that attaches the front so you can get into your couch and all that. She didn't return that, right? So I ended up getting the vacuum back that was fully charged, and she was complaining about no battery. She used this to get the part she needed for her vacuum. She's a liar. She lied every step of the way. And then when I didn't deduct anything, because I didn't realize that little piece was gone until after I processed the refund. I didn't give her original shipping back. And then she complained to me that, how come she didn't get a full refund? I told her I was going to deduct more had I known that you didn't return the part that you took from me. So I don't know. I'm waiting for a negative feedback at some point on that. But at this point, one hasn't been done. But people are just, this person, they knew what they were doing. And they ended up getting the part they were looking for.
Corey.
Well, Jenna looks just as excited as Grams does when I start talking at length about e-commerce. Yeah, a lot of people say that you don't smile enough.
How?
It's like you're being held hostage.
I'm not, guys. I'm here on my own free will. No
Larry
chains.
Todd says, Primo's neutral. The buyer had not even received the item yet, and eBay was asking them for feedback.
Yeah. Which is...
It's unnecessary.
It's horseshit. Okay? It's horseshit.
It's just unnecessary. Allow the buyer, maybe have a link on there. So leave feedback for your recent purchase. Have that prominent on the page. They're going to eBay. They see it's still an option for them to click on. Mm-hmm. But to receive an email, it's like, I'm not even in eBay mode, and here comes eBay. How about this? It probably was someone on their iPhone, and then they're doing something at the top of their screen really important. This happens to me all the time. It drives me crazy. It's all the time. And anyone who has an iPhone should know what I'm talking about. And you're working on something, and at the top of the screen, you're about to hit something, push a button, and here comes a damn notification.
Just like that.
Just like that. And I hit that, and it takes me away into that email or notification. And it was an eBay email saying, leave feedback for your seller. Well, I'll give you feedback. You're going to interrupt me like that? Okay. You got your feedback. That's probably what happened. Diamond Roy says, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Nice to see you. Andy Reno says, if someone is looking for parts, that will be a part of their keyword search. Well, we're even then. I'll let you be right this time.
I am almost
I will let you be right. But you weren't right about those
I know
coins.
what I want for dinner and why it's on my mind, because I know you're going to ask me.
Write it down.
You're going to kill me.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I remember her being wrong about those Olympic coins. We don't have them anymore because they sold. She said they weren't going to sell. Biff Boffo says, Jenna is 100% on this one.
Thank you, Biff. Yes.
I do things just to give her some kudos.
Love you.
See, this is making her day better. See, this is 4D chess on my part. This is 4D chess on my part. She just needed to hear how right she was, and it would make her day. Samantha, Jenna, John, you guys got some great shirt designs. Where do you get them, or are they in your store? So what's going on with yours?
I got mine at
well, the Rolling Stones have been out for a while.
I got mine at Sam's Club.
She stole their design. No, this one here is Legends Live Forever. This is the Maddie Z Foundation that I went and played that tournament. It's the golf tournament. It was for the Maddie Z Foundation, and essentially it was a bunch of friends that got together to create this foundation after he passed away and left his wife and kids behind with really no way to fend for themselves. I mean, they needed money And so they came up with this foundation to help her offset, the expenses. So very, very cool thing. The Maddie Z Foundation. Diamond Roy says, I lost my job on Tuesday, but I'm looking at the bright side, ready to kick this reselling business into overdrive.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, you got now full-time status, so get it going. Make it work.
Make a commitment to a schedule every day.
Does this make you feel better? I just love it.
I do.
I love it for you.
Do.
I love it for you.
So much better, honestly.
Yes, I'm going to put 4 parts.
I agree with the blonde.
So Mary J. Blige.
No, it's Maddie J. Blige.
I agree with the blonde. I'm going to dye my hair then. Reality Smacks. Jenna's right on the title.
Yes.
I
love you
Drummer
guys.
says you guys made her day. You
I
guys,
know.
thank you.
Thank you.
4D chest. This is how we get her to smile, right? We get her to.
It's not like I don't smile. I just don't. When he starts going off on his
we get her to
little
get in
tangents, I literally go to another place.
We get her to get indignant about a topic that she's really like, she knows she has the answer to, and then you guys agree with her, and it makes her day, and she's not like sitting here. Peter, I think that's right. Piotr, Kornichek. I will list for parts repair only in title and description. I've had eBay side with the buyer when it was not in the title. Okay, for that reason that it wasn't in the title, because the idea that there is a condition of parts of repair, and if we're using that should be sufficient. I kind of side on the side of the buyer is not taking the responsibility. So when you sell an item on eBay, it's a shared responsibility. The seller has the responsibility to put accurately what is being sold and everything that the buyer must know about the thing that they are buying, right? That's the seller's responsibility. The buyer has a shared responsibility in that they have to do their part of it. They have to read the damn thing. They have to, used to be, this is a binding contract. That's no longer the case. But you would think that buyers are still reading what you're putting in there, and it's just not happening. Now, my contention is part of it is on eBay because they're not making it easy for the buyer to get to that information.
Right, but if it's a constant, okay, so if
don't need to argue that. We already established that you're right.
My point is, if it's going to continuously happen, and because it has, why are you so hell bent on not just changing that?
Because I'm not hell bent. I just said I'm agreeing with you at this point. I'm allowing the audience.
You're only allowing me to have a win today because you have witnesses.
See, that's the conspiracy theory side of you. It's actually 4D chess to make you smile.
Where's Beard? I need Beard.
And well,
Beard's on my side.
Well, he might be. But what I'm saying to you is I'm agreeing with you, and maybe that's something we're going to change going forward. But I do still believe that that's not going to change a damn thing. Buyers are still going to do it. Buyers are. How many times do you see stories where people are like, I put it explicitly in the listing and they still didn't read it? And it may not be a parts or repair situation. Might be the thing you have is just missing a simple accessory. You're still selling it and you've got it listed in the listing and the buyer doesn't read it. That's because eBay does not give the buyer a good opportunity to read the item description. Biff says, if you're going to fight against for parts in your title, you're going to keep encountering the same issue. I hear what you're saying, and I'm gonna make that change, but I don't think that that's going to make much of a difference. Drummer agreed with me. I'd love it when someone agrees with me.
Well, the consensus in this chat right now is more.
Okay, so Casey in New York says, I agree with Jenna. Use the word parts instead of read. Apparently the word read isn't getting them to click on the full description link. But would parts get them to click on it, to get them to not ask 20,000 questions?
You won't know until you try.
John Worldwide Weber says, 2019 stat, 4.1% of the population in the United States is illiterate. I think 95.9 are failing to demand proper education in our schools.
That I agree with 100%.
Oh, yeah. But let's just say 4.1% of the illiterate population is buying this item. And I have 30, I'm exaggerating, but let's say 3 views of this damaged. Like maybe I have the inside different photos of where it's damaged. You don't need to read this to see, oh, that's not what I'm looking for, and then move on. But people don't look at the photos either, unfortunately. Diamond Roy says, I
think they're more apt to look at a photo than they are to read a description.
But the guy who sent me a message saying, does this thing come with the power cable? When I have the second picture in the photo.
Some people are just dumb, okay? And you can't account for the entire population to be smart.
But common sense.
Okay, the lack of common sense nowadays has gone out.
But that shouldn't be on the onus shouldn't be on me to message, because there's some sellers that do this. They'll message every buyer that's bought something before they ship it out saying, hey, just to let you know, this is what I'm sending you. You shouldn't have to do that. Diamond Roy.
I get where you're coming from, but I also just think that we need to switch it up.
Diamond Roy is actually dealing with Facebook Marketplace, trying to move some items. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. If you feel comfortable doing that, as I don't, if you're in a safe area,
I'm not alone.
Go for it.
Just Plain Bill always puts read in the description. I get questions, but have never had a complaint or return.
Yeah, but what are you selling? I mean, it's been a problem for us. So that's why I think that if there's going to be a continuous return problem or purchases, and then people, like, for instance, the guy this morning, had he not sent that message, he would have never even known until he got the item that the part, it was for a part. There was no motor.
I mean, shouldn't the price be a hint? You know, you see, like, wow, this functional part is $150. This guy's selling for $50. Yeah, don't you think something's like a little off here? I mean, wondering.
You and I would question that, and most people, but there is a very high percentage of people that just don't.
So Underscore says, I agree, eBay should show descriptions and also that you should state parts in the title. Yes. So I am going to put parts. I'm going to put parts at the end. I don't know if I'll put it in the front. I want to reserve the first 5 letters.
It has a sixth word.
It's going to be in the title, and I'm going to see if there's any difference.
Fine.
Spam says parts is only 1 letter more than read. Also select eBay condition for parts or repair. I always select for parts or repair on the condition, but you never know. Sometimes you're up against that last letter, and you're going back and you're tweaking the rest of the title so you can fit all 80 characters in there. I do that all the time too. Vicky says, I agree the description thing is an issue, but we have to work with what we have. I agree with Jenna.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Is this making you happy?
Yes, it does make me so happy. Thank you, Vicky.
Daddy Games. See, I can't make her happy half the time. It's where you guys come in and make her happy. Haha, what a start to the show. Should have a camera up permanently with you too.
No, because it gets a lot more.
We'd get a lot of people watching. That'd be entertaining.
Very loud.
Mike says, honestly, it can be a title and listed as parts, and buyer can still return it.
Yes.
My experience with selling parts is a pain in the ass.
Yes, and that's not my gripe. My gripe is the fact that they didn't read any of it. Any of the thing. And then, though, I mean, it's a small percentage of people that do it, but it seems to be, now that we have a lot of parts going on, it's more, I mean, obviously the more you sell, the more dumb people are going to purchase from you. It's just the way it goes.
I'm getting nailed here. Agree with Jenna, says Gail.
Thanks, Gail.
Amazon says, hey guys, eBay is just a glutton of issues right now, in my opinion. Hope they get their shite together soon.
Yes.
But I think when we were trying to develop programs in Amtrak, right, for things, how they should work. So we actually had and they still have it, I guess, a notification program that would notify people when there was a service disruption. It was an automated callback system. And we were on the forefront of developing that and putting out, this is what eBay really needs, is a dedicated team of people who are in tune with what the needs are, and to say, yeah, you could do this, but it's not going to work because the buyer is never going to see the title or the item description, and to make those changes. But eBay doesn't seem to have something like that. And it's the developers always used to tell us it's functioning as designed. And that's probably,
God, I hate that answer.
Yeah.
We got told that literally on a daily basis, and it's so frustrating because that's not really what it's supposed to do.
Semperfi says, made a few sales and continue to list. Last return I had claimed used, but didn't look at the plug where there was plastic zipper from the factory on it. Yeah. And you know what? You're over delivering. You're not under delivering. You're giving the buyer. That's really a good experience to go, wow. I've actually had a couple of feedbacks where someone said, hey, this thing was supposed to be used, but we got it and it looked brand new to me. And that's always a good thing. Andy says, hey, Jenna, maybe Primo's blocking you. Maybe you're blocked.
No, I'm not blocked.
Juan says, happy Monday. Just crossed over 60% month over month yesterday.
Nice.
Time to see if
Excellent.
the golf
Where's our
sounds? Okay, you want sounds?
Good job, Juan. You can do it.
I got to find some good ones. I was messing with little Happy Gilmore, but none of them really appealed to me.
60%. That's amazing.
Duncan VR says, many buyers simply don't read descriptions. I just copy and paste my title to the description. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's in there. That's the header of my description. So my title is the header in my description. I put the condition, and then I put features of that particular item. And when it's a broken item, I'll put features, and I'll put in quotes, or not quotes, but in parentheses, when working properly. Biff Boffo says, I think you can only join channels via desktop.
Really? I thought I've seen it on my phone.
That might be right. Bobby's Kicks 2023. Good evening from Kentucky.
Well, hello from Kentucky.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been to Kentucky once for the Derby.
Oh, look at the doggy.
Yeah. Spam says, if you're using Apple iPhone app, member button not available. You have to do it on the desktop.
Oh, okay.
Maddie J says, I thought hurricane season was over.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're in October.
Hurricane season has historically gone into the first part of November. So from June to November is generally the hurricane season. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for it to be this crazy, and seeing a lot of videos about how people are just really in a bad spot, I
mean, these towns are gone.
Yeah, they're really in a bad spot.
Literally don't exist anymore.
Let me make you happy again. Larry Todd says, Jenna's always right with a super chat. Thank you for making her smile. That's all that matters to me. If I'm wrong, then I'm fine with being wrong. I'm going to make the change, and I'm going to see if that helps with the return issue. My contention still is that eBay is not doing the buyer any justice when we are trying to get that information to the buyer, and we don't have 80 characters more. We need more than 80 characters to get that information explained as to what they're buying, and it's just not accessible to most people. Duncan says, Jenna has John been sending offers on your eBay account again? Bad John, ha ha ha.
Probably. I mean, the guy got his hands in everything, so I'm
all over that account, but we're making good sales for what that account does. This account, my main account, is kind of falling off a little bit, but we're going to get back on track. Richard says, buyer left positive feedback today stating item hasn't arrived yet. They ordered it on Friday night, media mail, sent it first thing Saturday morning. What more do they want?
Oh, geez.
That's just weird.
Hey, at least they left a positive, right?
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
You know what?
Anymore.
Reply with a positive, professional statement saying that, the buyer ordered this on Friday. They left me this feedback on Monday. It wasn't supposed to be there till later in the week, or something like that. Semperfi, thumbs up for sold or free return. No returns, just a sale.
Yeah.
Get a sale within the next 24 hours if you hit that like button. I don't know why, it just works. Samantha, this is going to be a very interesting Q4 season.
Yeah.
T. Taylor, I think Jenna's right. If it's for parts repair, you don't need all the descriptive words. But you do need it in the item description. You certainly do.
Of course, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
I'm just adding title. That. I'm just adding that. I'm just clarifying that you still need to make sure, even though eBay is not making it somewhat accessible for them. It's accessible, but it's not. If it doesn't catch their eye, they're not clicking on it.
I just think that eBay has all of its own issues. We have to make the business work for the way that we want it. We need to make changes or move words or remove or add words to make our stuff visible.
You want me to agree with you again? Or do you just
yes.
I'm not going to agree with you again.
Do it.
I've already done it.
Do it.
I agree with you. That's it. You're not going to hear that from me again. John Worldwide Weber says Jocko Willink has a good book, Extreme Ownership.
Uh-oh. Are you saying that that's John?
I just took ownership. Chastity says, got a late shipment defect, requested it be removed, choosing the weather reason.
Yeah.
Said it would be removed in 8 hours. Still there. I'm going to give it a day and try again.
Yeah, I would give it till tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. And you know what? When you get someone that's telling you they're going to do something, make sure they follow up with sending you an email. There's supposed to be an email you get whenever they do something. Silver hair, poke the bear. Rob something. Sales have been great, up about 34% month over month and close to 80% year over year.
Nice.
That's outstanding.
Excellent job, Rob.
That's outstanding. Maybe
he needs a sound.
Okay. Are you happy? I'm just not on my game like Cremo. And for all those of you who aren't up that much,
you can do it.
Ping G says there should be a join to become a member of a channel.
They're just on. I'm always on my phone. I don't really watch anything other than my phone. So I will have to go on the computer and do it on Wednesday.
Samantha says that is too cute. Mr. John wanted to know if he was the source of Jenna not to be in a good headspace. Well, it's quite possible that I could have said something like not maybe something she didn't agree with that could have set her there. Mm-hmm. Jerry Dawson Sr., thanks for the North Wilkesboro tip in where to source pallets. Yes. Hopefully that works out for you. That's a very, very good location. And, be very, very selective and try to buy stuff that's manifested if you can.
Try to see the pictures as close as you can.
Family and friends are a great distraction.
They really are.
Yeah. I am absolutely looking forward to Mike Camparelli coming out here.
I can't wait.
And I'm hopeful that, he wants to come out, I believe that Saturday and do yard sales
for a whole year.
Yeah. He's going to do yard sales. And I'm certainly I'm not going to miss that, even though it's not really on my radar, but to go to the yard sales is something I'm looking forward to. But while he's out here, he's going to be out here for 2 weeks. I plan on hanging out with him more than just the yard sales. I'm put it that way. Tiffany says family and friends are a great distraction. Mike says I'm down 2% for the month, but I was on vacation last week.
Yeah.
So not too bad. Trying to add back money or dollar value before leaving on vacation.
You going on another vacation?
Yeah. Would love to do that.
We haven't been on a vacation all year.
We haven't. It's these dogs, I tell you.
It's just dogs.
Yeah. Samantha says, I'm feeling anxiety with eBay again. Why can't they get their stuff together?
Don't ever let it give you that.
Yeah,
kind of
you shouldn't let it
anxiety.
upset you. I mean, that's the thing. I don't even know. That's the reason. I don't want to make a video that's going to rile people up and make people not want, especially on Monday, right? I want you guys to feel motivated to get out there and list.
Yeah.
Like the motivation should be coming from Mike, who's only down 2%. That's actually good.
That's
news.
Only 2%, and he was also out of town.
You got Juan and you got Rob, and they're both tearing it up.
Yeah.
So that should give you hope that despite all the little issues that we come across, whether you're talking about glitches or design flaws, is what I look at it as, design flaws, or just harassing buyers into doing things they really don't want to do, they're still making good money. They're making it work. Mm-hmm. So you guys should feel really good about that. So Samantha says, I'm feeling anxiety with eBay again.
You just
Why
read
can't they
that.
get their
Where-
stuff together? I don't know
can't
why
you
it
get
keeps
your
popping
stuff
up again.
together?
I'm trying to. You're so abusive to me.
Abusive.
Where's my peeps out there to come to my defense
You
and
don't
say
have
Jenna
any.
is just cruel to John half the time?
Well, there are, but we don't have. They're not
I
a
know
part
where
of this
those
channel
you
anymore.
think of them as trolls. I think of them as
They are
people who got
trolls.
my back, but
No.
they're never getting my back. Tiffany says my sales are way down. Super small seller, getting ready to work on my doom piles.
Oh, don't call them that. Just call them backstock.
I will do that right now. Now I want you to look at it differently. Tiffany, I want you to change your mindset, because if you're looking at that stuff as your doom piles, because we got a little bit of it ourselves, but I like to look at it as backstock. I'm anxious to get to it, right? I'm not looking at it as a negative thing. I'm looking at it as a positive thing, because once I list it, I don't have anything more to do but to hope it sells and to try to help it sell. That's the job you have to do, is to get that thing listed.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that listed, the pressure just leaves you. I still have like about a pallet left out there that I have in the garage. That's why I haven't gotten new stuff out of the storage unit. But as this pile is diminishing, I'm feeling a sense of accomplishment. I'm feeling a sense of, I can breathe. It just feels good to. And another thing, guys, here's another thing I want you to do. So I want you to look at it differently, Tiffany, but everyone, I want you to do this, because this work helped me so much. Over the weekend, before Beard's show, after it was Friday evening, after our live and before Beard's show, I had a little bit of time. I went out there to go set up. I was going to actually put my iPad out there and to work while I was on his live. That was the plan. I put my iPad on this little shelf that I have over my photo area, right under my TV. For whatever reason, that shelf just imploded, and everything that I had on that shelf just was all over the place. And I'm like, oh no, this isn't happening. So I came in here and was on Beard's show. But after that, my son was coming into town. After Beard's show, for like 3 hours, I was out there moving the listing table out, rebuilding the shelf so it's actually secure, and cleaning things. And I was throwing things out, and the amount of clutter that I had in my photo area was like out of control. And when you have clutter that you're working around, you don't even know it. It's just demoralizing, and you don't want to be dealing with it. And I got to tell you, when I got it cleaned up, I wanted to get out there and list. And when I did get some items listed, I felt like I was quicker. I was able to get it done faster, and I didn't have all this stuff in the way, or like items I can't find. I need this tool. I need that. I can't find this. And I wasn't dealing with that anymore. So everyone out there, my challenge to you is get out there and make sure that you have, not only get it clean, but maintain it so it's clean all the time. That's the lesson that I took. So I'm glad that shelf blew up on itself. I kind of needed that. David Pentland from Scotland says, hi, Jenna, John, and chat. Life is good in Scotland today.
Nice.
Awesome. I'd love to be in Scotland.
I know. I want to come visit you, David.
They've got some good golf courses out there. Great golf courses out there.
I would just stand outside and look around in awe.
Graham's Pop says there is a meetup in Nebraska, Plains to Profit, but isn't that in the spring?
Yeah,
that's not in hurricane season. I mean, there's nothing that I know of going on this year. There is a little get together in Vegas that's happening on, I believe, the 17th. That's on a Thursday night, and that's something that Mike Camparelli put together. Don't know if you guys are interested. You can email me, flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com, and I'll give you the details if you're interested in going. There's no cost. You just got to get yourself to Las Vegas. Gail says, coming over. Who did it? 99. I hate that eBay places ads between the title photos and the descriptions. No wonder conversion rates are so low. They also show ads after the sale, which is why there are so many cancellations.
That's been a constant annoyance that eBay has done.
Yes, but everything you described is equals a high effort buying experience.
Mm-hmm.
So buyers are confused because they're looking in the listing. They see other photos. So now think about this. They're in your listing, and eBay puts the promoted listings within your listing. They see photos of these listings, and maybe they start to think, well, that's the listing that I'm in right now. That photo for that other listing is what I'm buying. And then they get it, and it's like, no, I didn't get what I thought I was. You're causing customer confusion.
Yeah.
And I don't see eBay getting rid of something that's a moneymaker like that, but changing the item description so it's a part of the front page of the listing in the app isn't going to cost eBay anything. Maybe real estate that they don't want to give up. But I know one thing, that sometimes you can scroll on the app and it's like forever. You're scrolling through a sea of listings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to add that much to it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Larry Todd sold a watch last week. Net to the account $4,600. Wow. Wife asked where that came from. Oops, forgot to tell you, honey. LOL. You forgot to separate your eBay account, checking account from your personal account, so she was able to see it. You got to go and get one of those free accounts. Flipping from the trailers is not leaving, just going to ride it out.
Well, just be safe. Do make sure you got what you need, and
going to have a hurricane party.
Make sure you reach out to somebody, your family, especially once this thing goes through. Make sure you communicate so that people know that you're all right.
So Stephen Webster, sorry I joined late. Had to get some deliveries out. Don't worry, Stephen. Whenever anyone's late on this live, you're always on time because I'm actually almost an hour behind on the comments. Wow. BG says, I just closed my store after 22 years on eBay. Now retired in Mexico, where I have a nice house for $600 a month, but still have to tune into you every now and then. Must say, Jenna, you look beautiful.
Aw, thank you so much. Congratulations on your move.
Yeah. So how is that? See, here I am. You can call it ignorance, but when I think of venturing at all to Mexico, I think of like keeping my head on my shoulders and not losing it to the cartels. I don't know. I just have these fears of getting pulled over and getting shaken down. And
well, there's certain places in Mexico that are safer than others, but you know.
Earl Parker says 67 degrees here in Western North Carolina.
Ooh, I would love 67.
Now, are you doing okay? Because Western North Carolina is in, but that's Western North Carolina. So
hopefully
hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Andy Reno says, unfortunately, I can pretty much guarantee you have items sitting on your shelf that are not listed.
That's probably a fact.
Very, very, but it takes time, right? People don't want to take the time away from their listing, but you do need to take time to maintain your current listings. So whether that's going through inventory, you should probably do that twice a year, and going through your existing listings to find out why in the hell are these things not selling. And between those two things, you're going to be able to move stuff that would in turn just be sitting there forever. Pitco says, I tend to sell more parts than whole items. Like the sale I just got was for a part.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at all these ones. Look at all these ones. I said one if you side with Jenna. I don't see a single two.
No, that's not correct. The question was one if you like my diatribe in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. But okay. You're right. You're right.
Get
you're
your
right.
poll right. You don't even, you put a poll
I didn't put a poll.
And then you just don't even know what it's about.
Yes. So, okay. So you like the current setup.
Yes.
Okay.
It says, we like it, John. Just have to give you a little, a hard time.
When you're an hour behind in the comments, this is what happens. You forget. I was thinking about her whole situation.
Yeah, I know. My whole situation.
Josh sides with 3. You know what 3 is?
3 is you can shut the.
That's what I was going to say. Larry Todd says, yeah, I'm good with the diatribe. You give us a topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
You like John's opening thoughts?
Okay.
Man.
You can't teach old dog new tricks.
Sometimes I wish you would just
Skull
shut
equals
up.
cheers, I guess, for the Vikings.
Oh.
Skull. Or it could be the chaw. What is that? Tobacco. Chewing tobacco. That's skull, right? Callie Debs.
Why would you know that?
Because I've seen it before. I shared a link to Rusty, the reseller's page in Primo's chat. So I believe that he is one of those resellers that's affected by the storm, right?
That's right.
Andy says, speaking of, okay, John, I got a question for you. What if someone goes on eBay and puts in the search parts for Dyson vacuum? But wouldn't they put in what they're looking for? So maybe they need a nozzle.
They're looking for parts.
They don't want a random part. They're going to want to know, okay, so there's many Dyson vacuums. There's about, I'd say, 24 different Dyson vacuums. So you're going to put Dyson, the model number, and what part you're looking for. Maybe you need a nozzle. Maybe you need a crevice tool. Maybe you need a dust bin. So you're going to put all these things in
put in parts and then you weed it out.
I don't want to weed anything out. Brew Mission says, I got a negative review because the shipping label looked unprofessional.
What?
Now, did you write it out by hand?
Did you write it out by hand? And do you have chicken scratch?
Yeah. If you look like you should be writing prescriptions, you should not be writing them out by hand. So, check out down below. We have Jaden's. They have a great deal. You get 14% off of your thermal label printer. And I got to tell you, we have 2 of them here, and they work. I have not had one issue with them. They're really good. Callie Deb says, Rusty the reseller is suffering terribly from the hurricane. If anybody wants to help him out at all, his chat donation is working. So, yeah, guys, go check out Rusty the reseller. We love to help other resellers in the community whenever possible. This is the beautiful thing about the community that we have. We can all get together and lift each other up when there's a problem. So
yeah, I mean, it absolutely, like I was telling John, I think it was Saturday, I am so angry.
Oh, good. She's angry. She don't have to share her anger.
Dang it.
We want to be positive. But what I was going to say is, I would like to think that if something was to happen to one of us, that the community would, rally together to, support us in any way possible. And I'm not saying anything, even if you're contacting Rusty and just letting him know, hey, you know what, we're praying for you. We got your back. If, whatever, I think just the kind words is what a lot of people need when they're going through things. Big Dre says, pulling my orders for today, weak sales over the weekend and today. FedEx lost package, so refunded the buyer, listing less than 5 items a day till I can build up back stock. Yeah. That was my problem last year. Just, I had to manage what I was listing because I was running out of stuff. I wasn't getting enough. Samantha says, it's your channel. Present the direction of the show as you want. I am fine with it. It presents a topic. What's wrong with you talking? Well, sometimes people joke, right? And I've always looked at it as, people are just joking. But sometimes whenever you joke, there's a little truth to it. So if it's like, here's John with his diatribe, and I start to think, well, maybe I am a little too long-winded with what I'm saying. Or, maybe you guys wanted it in a different format. At the end of the day, it may be my channel, but without you guys, there is no channel. So if you guys don't tune in because here's some old guy just yapping, speaking Japanese, then why do I want to tune in for that? So I don't want to be that guy. I want to be mindful of what your time, and I don't want to waste it. Chastity says, I'm good, Jenna. Thanks. Spam likes the current format. Tiffany says, Skoll is a friendly exchange before drinking. David Kelber says, there are a lot of glitches on eBay. Can't open app, can't list, can't make offers. eBay rep says he'll report it. No sales in a week. That's the most concerning part, is the no sales in a week. I discovered when I was moving items over from my main account to my secondary account, I had this Kraus brand, Kraus branded water faucet, and it's open box. They didn't like the fact that even though others were using their stock photo, I had a stock photo for them, and I got a Vero for that. And I was told to remove the stock photo. I removed the stock photo, and I used my photo with the background removal. They took it down again, saying that I was using a stock photo. That's my photo. Nonetheless, I put it back up a third time, and it never sold. And this is like 3 months ago. I took it down to list on the other account, and I was not able to find that. When I did a search on the other account for this item, it was nowhere to be found. It was not there like my other items were. They totally blocked me. Now, I'm not saying they're blocking your items, but There's things that do go on in the background that prevent your item from even being seen. Big Dre says, considering getting a larger storage unit as I'm almost maxed out, I feel this will be a problem most resellers will deal with as sales are not consistent, but consistent listing is required. So yes, we are going to be running out of room if my listing outpaces my sales. We have now 215 items in the second store. It doesn't seem like a lot, but based on the flow and the things we have to do, it's actually starting to grow. And my main store is now at 200, which is where we've always been. And that's maxing out a lot of our space. I did go out and buy 4 of the big 77 by 48. I think they're 48. No, they're 64 high. Whatever they are. They're 4 rack, the big industrial ones, racks. Got them at Sam's Club. And the cool thing about those are you can take 2 of the racks and turn them into 3. So instead of having 2 4-shelf racks, you have 3 shelf racks because they're modular. And they fit the entire length of the storage unit by like 5 inches. So I can set each side up with racks and then do what I have to do here in the middle. And that's another thing that's happening. We ordered that. Spent about $900 on that. So that's coming. DM Ephemera says, hi, number 1, leave it as it is. Keep chat from going off the rails as quick. Okay. I will definitely look into doing that. Silver Hair listed inventory is larger than the death pile. Yeah, running out of room. Grams, careful with that sneeze. At our age, you could poop yourself. It's a good enough sneeze. Actually, my back will go out of place. My rib will pop out of place when I sneeze. It doesn't always happen, but when it happens, it's kind of miserable for a while. Ping G says, hi, Samantha, doing just fine, and you? DM Ephemera, it's 63 in Western PA. That would be nice. Pitco, have you noticed that you can go all day without scratching your nose, but as soon as you go on camera, your nose starts to itch? It's like some random thing. And believe me, it happens more often than you think. And I'm sitting here trying to fight it as much as I can. And normally it just goes away on its own, but it's like torture. SCG Collectibles, I guess he needs a lot of his toilets.
Huh?
Needs to lot his toilets. No, I don't. They're in the storage unit, and we sold another one today. So they'll go slowly. We'll get enough people who has an issue with their toiletness, and we'll get those. Yes. Pitco says, not a Lexmark X264DN cartridge, are they? I can check, but I don't necessarily think it would be totally a crapshoot for that to happen.
He came 20 minutes ago, and we didn't hear him.
Who was it?
Sal.
Really?
He said he yelled in the garage and everything, and he was banging on the door. He's like, this is weird. He's like, I know you're there because the garage door's open.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I probably should have shut it before the show. It happens. Grams and Pops says, just rename your store to J&J Parts.
That's what I feel like.
She won't change the name of that second store.
I will not.
Because I would change it to the name that I had it as originally. Mm-hmm. KC New York, if I need a part, I'm going to search for a part, not the whole item.
That's what I'm saying.
But you're going to search for a specific part. I don't want a sea of random parts popping up that I have to now filter through and search because I failed to put that I just needed a nozzle for the thing. And I don't want 1,000 different Dyson vacuums coming up in search either. So that's kind of my thinking. Pitco, I think Jen has a point, John. You got to think the way the customer will type in search. Hill Valley Vintage, don't marry your inventory. If it's not selling, cut your losses, discount it, and get rid of it, then invest in something better. I agree with that entirely.
That 100%.
I agree with that. And I just think sometimes we've sold ourselves that this item is historically sold for $50, and therefore I should get $50 too. And I'm not selling it for a dime less because of that. It's the same mentality people have at yard sales. Like, oh, I'm not selling that for less than 30. It sells for eBay for more than that. Either you're trying to get rid of it or you're not. Goannis, anyone aware of the eBay bug where you don't see all of your store categories in the seller hub filters? I'm not aware of that. But maybe someone has in the chat. Heaven Sent Smoking Channel. eBay has been having a glitch with offers for the last 2 weeks. They don't know the cause yet, but sometimes offers don't immediately go through. Yeah, I know it's kind of glitchy. I just shrug it off if it doesn't allow me to send it. Just plain Bill, my wife agrees with Jenna about parts in the title.
Well, thank you.
Oil Man, we need more than 80 characters for our description. We do get more than you get pretty much as you want for the item description, but not the title. Christine T. Anderson, I'm trying to something to help buyers read, thinking I'm taking a screenshot of my description and adding it as a second photo. Well, that's interesting.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
That's an idea. You're brilliant.
Rob something says, I don't let returns trigger me. It's just business and not personal. I've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, they don't bother me. I mean, it bothers me when it's...
We start thinking about humanity and how did we get here?
Yeah.
It's, it's like, this shouldn't even have half the returns don't even have to happen.
Yeah.
Diamond Roy, I've listed an item as for parts repair in their past. The customer bought the item and then I messaged them to check if they're aware that it's for parts repair. Then they request to cancel. Yeah. Yeah. And the idea that I'm gonna have to go in and search for all these and to send messages, it's just taking time away from the other things that I don't have time for. Christopher, my return rate was less than 3 a year on parts and repair items. That's pretty darn good.
That's really good.
Andy, it's not that eBay wants to lose sellers. It's that eBay does not know how to keep its sellers.
That's true.
That's right. I agree with that.
For parts was in my
wedding vows. But was she able to, I can't even speak. Was she able to perform the repair? That's what I want to know. Dark Horse Productions. I must have pissed her off the other day. I don't know, probably a mix of things. Well, don't do that.
Well, don't piss anyone off.
Who did it? 99. I agree with Jenna. You need to put parts repair in the title, in the condition box, and in the description. Buyers don't read the description.
Whew, I feel so much more validated.
Well, we love you too. Chastity says, Christine has a good idea. Why not save an image that states for parts repair only and use it as your second photo? Then you don't have to use your 80 characters. When I was selling these pallets before, I used to have that as like the front photo, right? Yeah. But eBay does this. I guess I could chalk that up as doing the things that eBay doesn't want us to do. And I guess I can do that. Duncan VR says, there are millions of buyers on eBay apart from sales to regulars today. I had at least half a dozen new buyers today.
Oh, wow.
That's really good.
That's awesome.
You Want You Need says, could you tell us how to send a return label or sending it when doing free returns? So are you saying when they don't open a return, if you're just sending the return label, the way I do it, I don't know if you have Windows or anything equivalent in Mac, but there's a snipping tool. So I'll go in to Pirate Ship. I'll put my address as the from, and I'll put the buyer's address in the from and my address in the to section. And I'll run the label, pay for the label. And then when I go to print it, I will then use the snipping tool to snip out the preview screen where it shows what's going to be printed. I'll save that as a file and I'll send that to the buyer. Yeah. Duncan, Jen is always right. Happy wife, happy life. If Jeannie is not happy, then yes, I agree with that. Apophis says, eBay sucks bad. I got suspended because I used Printify.
What?
I thought you were going to say you use profanity, but Printify.
No, what? That's your
that's my
your hooked on phonics.
Yes. What is Printify?
Printify, isn't that a place to print labels?
I don't know. Maybe you can look it up. Henry Squall. Yes, I accidentally hit those notifications daily. Kenny Miller. I never type in parts when I'm searching for a part.
Okay, Kenny. So you're one in
us Millers think alike. I guess got to tell you, we want a part.
Wait, are you related in any way to this man?
Oh, I almost took that.
Wow.
So I have this vacuum, and this is an accessory for it, right? And I just don't know what I did with it, but I need this. So I'm going to type in what it is. Now this is a motorized tool. This is a motorized tool. I don't know if you can see that. Motorized tool for the Hoover. I think it's the Power One cordless vacuum. That's what I'm typing in. And guess what? You're probably going to find this tool and nothing else. And that's how I look for stuff that I'm not a buyer of these things, but when I'm looking for comps, when I want to find an item that I want to do a piggyback off of when I'm doing a sell similar on. That's how I look at it. I never use parts in there unless that's like a last resort thing. If I can't find this part or parts for the vacuum that I'm looking for, I will put parts at the end of the model number, and sometimes I'll get parts that'll come up that way, but it's never the first way that I do it. Anissa just got here. Don't know the question, but Jenna's always right.
Yes.
Most people are agreeing with you. Chastity, disregard the late shipment defect comment. eBay just removed it. There you go.
Nice.
Tiffany Antrim, notifications popping up at the wrong time happens to me all the time. It drives me crazy.
Gosh. It happens to him more than it does me. He literally will get so pissed.
Because it takes you away from your screen, right? You're in something else now.
It is annoying.
Kelly, John, if you know eBay is not working as intended and Jen suggests doing something different, maybe don't bark at her. Try it out. Maybe it'll cut down on issues for parts, or even parts will fix it. I don't know if did I bark at you?
It says will fit.
But did I bark at you? We interact, but I don't know.
You came off a little hot.
Well, drop it like it's hot. Swamp Picker says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Flippin' Ain't Easy. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Grams and Pops Vintage says, the title is so important for the search, so I tend to lean a bit in John's direction on this one, but Grams says I'm stupid, so we're a split household.
I think Grams is right.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying whatever Graham says, Graham's right.
Honor Squad, yes, John, there's a shared responsibility between the seller and buyer, but you as the seller will end up paying the piper. Yes, I agree. Just plain Bill, let it go, John, or it's the couch for you. That's never happened yet.
Yeah.
Believe me, it'll have to be a worse issue than that for there to be a couch involved. Hill Valley Vintage, buyers read, you're giving them way too much credit. I agree with you, but when you make it so that it's a hyperlink instead of part of, like, right underneath the title where it should be, that explains why it's happening. Vicky says, most of my buyers are new to eBay, so I assume they think all items are functional, if not new. Yeah, that's horrible. And Josh had 3 swap out returns that he received today, by the way. What? And it's these Amazon buyers are coming to an eBay near you, and they are buying your items, and they have that return mentality that they can just swap out their old whatever for your new one or your good one. Richard says, I'm in trouble because I write my address by hand. Don't do that. Yeah, because see, if you're writing your address by hand on your labels, that means you're not buying the discounted labels that eBay's offering you, and you're probably buying them at the post office, and you're paying too much. Larry, way out. Thanks for being here, Larry. Happy Monday, John and Jenna. Nice to see you.
Happy Monday, Larry.
We also have Craig, Landshark Pickers here. Nice to see you.
Craig?
Pitco, John, if you're searching for a part for an item, what do you type in search? Do you type in the item? Type in parts of the, like I told you, I'd type in the vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I type in the vacuum cleaner model and exactly what part, the name of the part I'm looking for. Yeah, a lot of people don't read the description.
Wait, you need to put more than too smart and redneck description.
What? You need to put more than too smart and redneck description.
Yeah.
Diamond Royce has just sold PS2 with cords, controllers, and 3 games for $110. There you go. Love to see that.
You're gonna kill it. Just keep going.
Rob's calling me a snowflake. Wow.
Oh.
I thought we were good. What's going on with that?
No, he's far from it.
That's just wrong. Gail says, I have a question. What's the difference between the green, blue, and yellow stars behind you?
Green, blue, and yellow stars behind us. Green, blue,
and yellow stars. Am I seeing something that's not there? Or is she seeing something that's not there?
Green, blue, yellow stars.
I don't know.
Gail, are you okay?
Andy says, okay, so
Gail, are you all right?
Put parts instead of read. Yes, I think we've established that. Just plain Bill says, signs are for other people. Why read a description? I don't know. Mike Gertis says, what is that sound? Oh, it's a sale. Quick 180 by 9 a.m., almost 7 p.m., $40 in one sale. Been getting a lot of long drought sales lately. Yeah. Well, we can get it. We can do it.
You can do it.
Duncan VR says, Messaging the buyer is a good idea and tell them before you ship and save returns. Put parts at the end, the middle, and the start. Yeah, that last part of sending a buyer a message, it's like, really? Maybe I'll have you do that.
No, you won't.
Because I just don't have time to do that. Biff says, I've sold vintage print ads where print ad was the first 2 words. People still think they're getting the item in the ad. Sometimes the stupidity is just too powerful to overcome.
This is a fact.
Yeah.
This is a fact.
Let's see. Rob Dvorak, suggestion on your main picture, add the text for parts only. I have a template that I put in Canva that I could do that. Probably will need to. Duncan says, John, you can message buyers at the golf course that it's for parts only. Big Dre, I always have damaged or incomplete for parts first in the title. I don't want any mix-ups. If it isn't perfect, I have the imperfections prominent in the listing.
Yeah.
We got Larry Way Out, says the description on the phone app is hidden. Maybe you should put the parts only in the condition section as that shows up in the app. But it's not really prominent either. That the condition description little blurb, because what they do is they show you like the first maybe sentence and a half, and if it's any longer than that, they cut it off. So you have to click on see more. Diamond Roy says, I love selling video game consoles locally through Facebook Marketplace because there's pretty good demand for it, and I don't have to worry about shipping and returns or swap outs, which is part of your returns. Diamond Roy, it might be a good idea to put replacement part. I've seen listings like that. Leon Johnson, the lesson here is one many of us vendors have learned the hard way. Do not ever buy returns. Always buy shelf pulls, overstocks, clearance, and never pallets of returns. Well, can't say never. I mean, you just got to adapt to it. So you're going to sell the things like shelf pulls, overstock, clearance differently because they're new. You don't have to worry about testing them. Generally, if they come new, packed new internal packaging, you're just going to check that they're in that state and you're going to sell them. You're not even, take them from the box. With these, you got to do all the above, and there's just more to it, but there's a market for it. eBay is one of the only places that I know where people actively go on to search for the parts they need to, fix an item, or maybe they can't run their vacuum without a belt or some piece that they're needing. And rather than buying a whole new one, they're saving money. Yes. Congratulations to everyone who's up in sales. I agree. Samantha says, John, pick your battles. Jen is always right. We got our back. We got your back with eBay. S. Latina, backstock. Yes. Listed backstock item yesterday. Had stared at it for months as it was going to be a pain to pack. Sold this morning for $98. That's in 2 weeks. You know what? Sometimes the ones that are a pain in the butt to handle are the bigger money makers. Yeah, the bigger money makers. And once you sell them, like we sold that Bun coffee maker, that commercial one, the one you see at like Denny's and Waffle House. I'm thankful that it sold. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's packed good, so you don't have to do a whole lot to it. Just put the label on it, but it's going to create space for me for new stuff to list. Tiffany Antrim, thank you so much. I'll be looking at it differently. I am now looking forward to listing my backstock instead of dreading it.
Yes.
Get it done and do it in small batches. So if you're just seeing a huge pile, fill up a bin, bring it in your listing area, and just focus on that. The other stuff doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Beers is lock and loaded. Biatches, most moist. 69 in Alabama.
I sure hope you enjoyed your nap.
Beard Mark safe from listening to John's diatribe. This is wrong. Gail says planes to profit March 28th to 29th.
Oh, March 28th, 29th.
Do you have that like in Zoom format? So you can, us out here that.
No, they want us to go.
Well,
I would love to go.
Well, we got to figure out the dog situation. John Gaynor says in West Palm Beach, Florida in 2004 and lost everything, but not our lives. Yes. Get out now. Thank it's not God. Worth being there. It's not. Yeah. It's not worth being on the news or being a story.
It literally just pisses me off how North Carolina has been treated by our government. Honestly, if you were to look at what's going on in Florida to prepare for Milton, that should have been done before Helene. it should have been done. They're going above and beyond in Florida right now as we speak, setting up, you know, trailers and trucks and food and you name it, they have everything going for them. But you know, the people that were being interviewed from in that site were just up in Tennessee and North Carolina, and they left because there's nowhere to go. The roads are gone. The people, a lot of the people are gone. I mean, there are obviously people and families that are still up there, but the fact that there's no way to get to anybody except by air it's just absolutely heartbreaking. And it makes me so angry that they are being ignored and just, oh, well, you know,
there's a town, I think it was called Bat Cave,
yeah.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And FEMA they didn't go there because there's a sign that says road closed,
mm-hmm.
and they didn't want to go around the sign.
Yeah.
This is the real thing. They claim they didn't go because they didn't want to disregard the sign.
That's ridiculous. The amount of people that lost their lives is not the correct number. And we won't even know what that is because they're not reporting the correct numbers, and it's very sad.
Alicia says, man, my chat box has been broken this whole live, been slowly listing. I mean, slowly. I hope I get faster things or selling a nice rate for just starting 2 weeks or so ago.
Nice.
Well, you're going to get more proficient and faster with what you do, and things are going to be like second nature. So just keep grinding because
you can do it.
Diamond Roy, what business model do you have for reselling? DBA, LLC, or S Corp? I am none of the above. I am I am a sole proprietor. That's what we are right now. At some point, maybe. What we got? Flipnit's here. Cheers, gang. Thanks for being here.
What's up?
Wait. How do I convince my wife I am not a hoarder?
Make more sales.
Well, no. Get those things listed and
list it
so
it can sell.
If you show her the business model, here's my inventory area. Here's how I have my inventory laid out. This is when what I do when I make a sale. Show her the sales you're getting, right?
Yeah.
Show her your eBay account to see this is what's happening. We're just trying to get more sales, and maybe allow her to be involved in the process. Maybe see if she wants to list for you.
No, don't offer her that.
Diamond Roy, in response to fitness question, you do that by selling your items. To fitness or flipping it. I think you meant flipping its question.
Flip
yeah. Make that money and show her, take her out to dinner and say, I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't sell like a bunch of these things I just sold. So now she's like, okay. So you get her bought into it. Maybe, do something nice for her or something. Let's see. Kelly says eBay won't display categories if there isn't any items in it. Diamond Roy, in response to flipping his question, you do that by selling your items. Often times when we source too much due to FOMO, fear of missing out, we're in fact hoarding these items, especially if we're not listing them.
Mm-hmm.
Big Dre, these Sam's racks are pricey. I spent about $250 for my 2x4 custom racks that have clothing racks built in and should hold 2,000 items when maxed out. Yeah, they are pretty big. They're pretty expensive. They're $199, I think, on Sam's, but I got the membership program. We got the membership where it's free shipping, right? So it's like, I ain't going to go pick them up. They'll deliver them here. I'll load them in my car, take them to storage unit, and assemble them there.
Yeah, I mean, they're worth it. They're the heavy duty ones, and hopefully they don't turn into 7 and 9.
John Worldwide Weber says brand, model number, name, part, if room, replacement part. I also say in the description you'll receive what is pictured. Yes, I agree with that. Love that. And we have Wolfman's Goodies.
Hey.
Thanks for being here, and thank you so much for the super chat. $5 super chat. Thank you. We can get maybe a coffee afterwards. That's awesome.
It's already 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but I want one of those pumpkin spice frappuccinos. That sounds really good.
I can already hear Beard right now.
You know, he's always got something to say at me. That's okay.
You didn't. Why you wait?
I'm way down
What
because
happened?
when I go to the screen, it takes me away.
Oh.
But let's see. I think I'm kind of backtracking here. Let me get back to where I was at. Okay, I was at Worldwide Weber. Sorry, guys. Pink says you only see the store category if there's a listing available in that category.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really run into that as a problem, though.
Yeah.
Swamp Picker says found a Dyson on the side of the road. Took the canister, sold its parts repair for good money.
Yeah, they do
It's
sell
amazing.
their parts. Sell for great.
Samantha says, no, John. That's like me typing in American history and war. What war you want? You need more information than that. Come on, be like Spock. Logical. Kelly says, maybe the membership stars time you've been a member.
Is that what you meant, Gail?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
That's what she meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are because you guys are members. There's 3 different tiers, and so certain tiers have a different star. And I mean, I don't know what they are. You would.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay, but that means that you are a member.
Yeah.
That tells us.
And thank you for being a member.
Yes,
we appreciate you
we
guys.
appreciate
Thank you. I mean, the fact
when
number
are you
one,
doing another.
We want to do one on Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
So Wednesday, for those of you guys who are interested, if you're a member or considering being a member, every month, the first Wednesday of every month is when I like to do it, is where we get together on a 1-hour live and just kind of go in and look at listings, maybe look at stores. Last week, we looked at Mike Camparelli's store. You don't have to necessarily be on the live. You could be in the chat. If you just want to send me the store name, we can look at it. And collectively, not just me, but those in chat, we're like, maybe I would do this differently, or maybe sell it this way. And I really think it's a way for us to kind of get together, and it's like a little workshop where we can kind of learn from each other.
It's not to dissect it and talk shit on it. It's to get feedback, positive feedback, and to help you see it through the lens of a buyer.
Chastity says the description is showing on the app again on my phone clicking see full description.
I was just going to check.
That's interesting. Beard not napping had to ship 75 today and go to UPS for a shipping issue.
Oh,
well, that's a
75. Good God.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know you're doing a volume game now. But that's awesome.
75.
Samantha says, John and Jenna have a good week. Have many sales. Talk to you Friday. FA viewers have many sales. Hopefully eBay improves for all of us. Goodbye. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Samantha. I hope you have a wonderful week and have lots of sales as well.
Beard got sick somehow. I don't know why.
Because you mentioned pumpkin spice.
Oh. Susan Phelps heard Harris Kamala is sending $157 million to Lebanon because they're just too devastated over there. Living terribly. Yeah. Amazing that. What about our citizens here in the U.S.? That's
what pissed me off.
And I don't care who you want or vote for, because last time I recall, Mr. Bush, junior and senior, sent us to many wars, and all the while, all that money being spent, and we have veterans and homeless people that just need a helping hand, and all that. There's no money. They never have money for it. And Mayorkas came out and said, FEMA's out of money. We don't got money to help people. It's like, what are you talking about?
They're out of money, but yet you should see the setup they have right now in Florida for Milton. It is out of this world. There are trailers and trucks from all over the country. There's one person that I follow that was showing it, and it's some of you might know if you follow true crime. JLR investigates. He's not my favorite creator, but he does have a lot of up-to-date, boots on the ground.
Andy Reno, those shelving units out of my pay grade, I'm stuck with plastic. There's nothing wrong with the plastic ones. I mean, you're going to pay a little less. If you're selling things like clothing that are in tubs, it's fine. But
yeah,
for what we're
they're
selling,
not terrible. We have lots of them, but I would prefer for the things that we use or we use them for. I would much rather have the heavy, sturdy ones for like, all of these big giant products. When it comes to like little things, those I don't think.
like the one like right there, like
Yeah.
these here. Those are fine for the
Yeah,
tubs.
they are fine.
Mike says, yes, John, please take Jenna to Planes to Profit. All the cool people are going to be there.
Oh, that means Mike's going to be there.
So we're going to try to work it out. We're
I would love to.
Beard had a $3,000 eBay weekend.
What?
See, I'm happy for you on that, and I say that because you found a way to bob and weave when Amazon was your thing, right? And eBay really wasn't. You found a way to pivot your business to make eBay a thing when you had to, with Joni, needing your help. So now it might become something you do more often. I really think that's good for what you're trying to do. And we're not getting any younger either. Susan says, missed the start. How is eBay creating negative customer experiences? Sorry, late to the game. Well, in a nutshell, and I showed the video of this, but if you look on your app on the phone and you look at any of your listings, or any listing for that matter, and you look for the item description, you could pass it by because it's only a little hyperlink.
Yeah, and I just looked because was it Chastity that said that? Mine still says see full description.
Right.
So
eBay wants us to tell our buyers about the flaws or missing parts or whatever is going on with your item because it's not pristine. And if it's not easily seen by the buyer, it's understandable why buyers are returning things the way they are, because eBay is not giving that information to them on the front page of that listing, but they sure have ample room for other people's listings in that listing. So the priorities aren't right. Reminding people to leave feedback when they should leave well enough alone, which is causing people to get negatives and neutrals when the buyer was just going to leave it alone. And up until, I believe, a few months ago, they were actively sending messages to buyers saying, hey, by the way, there's free returns if you're not happy with what you bought.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing here? You're creating confusion to the buyer, and it's no wonder why people are like getting a lot of returns and just like frustrated with the whole thing. Yeah. Now, Susan also wants to know, how's your tooth and what did you end up doing?
Well, my tooth is still hurting. It's coming. It comes and goes in waves. It'll get to where it doesn't hurt at all, and then it will go and it will flare up, and it gets so painful. Like literally, I just want to cry. So I'm gonna have to call the dentist tomorrow.
I offered to kick her in her shin, and that would normally take your mind off of this pain.
Yeah, because I'd be kicking your ass if you did that to me.
Andy Reno says, yes, this is true. I don't think I have anything over 10 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, they're nice. They do the job.
And Andy says, you're doing a great job, Pumpkin. Kudos to Beard. He's doing well. And you know what? I think it has to do with his name change. That's why he's selling. Once I started calling him Pumpkin and addressing him by Pumpkin, he's made great sales. Mike Camparelli, my store review was key. Really gave me some great ideas on how to improve my business. I highly recommend it. Yeah, and I got to tell you, and I don't know if you've used the photo room, but it's so cool. I mean, it's so great.
Have you used it? Because didn't you give him a?
Mm-hmm. He's now on Team FAE on the app. Oh. Susan Phelps says, Facebook is offering their 16.5 acres in Mississippi for tents, RVs, horses, livestock for them in Florida.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
I mean, I wish, and I think that's why I get so angry, is because I feel like I can't do anything to help. I feel very helpless. I mean, I wish I had the means to do something. I mean, I pray
But there's people
But that's
actively.
all I can do.
There's people actively going in and trying to bring supplies that are getting turned away.
There's a lot of civilians that are in there they are going all night long. And there's one guy that I watch that they are going in, they load up the trailer and the horse trailers and all the trailers that they have. They do a caravan into the darkness. They make a drop and anytime between 2 and 4 in the morning when it's dark, so that their stuff won't get stolen or confiscated, because items are being confiscated by FEMA and taken to supply to other places, not North Carolina. So it's just a big shit show, and I just wish there was more I could do. And I think that's why it makes me so angry, is because not nobody, but just it's the residents and the people and the, neighbors are coming together to help these families that literally lost everything.
Wolfman's Goodies says we have 1 return per month. That would be nice to just have that. Nice. Muskman 2007, brush with wheatgrass helps me.
Wheatgrass.
Wheatgrass.
I was gonna do ginger, but.
Susan Phelps, I had 6 sales this weekend. Great for me. That's awesome.
Good job.
Yeah, I don't buy into that Dora thing. You got to do better than that. That was a little off. It didn't even sound like it. Wolfman's Goodies, photo room rules. I agree. 2-player mode. I believe if you describe an item to the max and you take pictures with eBay, take pictures with any flaws, the buyer should know what they're buying, and done. No returns. This is why the way eBay was before. I agree. And I do take the time to describe, and I take many photos, many angles. You see this dent in the item. Let's say it's a dent and scratch kind of thing. And that's another story for a second. But if you see a dent and scratch item, which means it's dinged up due to damage from shipping or whatever, I'll take multiple angles of the things to make sure that they see it. Now, I did show Josh and Beard. We were talking one day before we filmed did the podcast, and I showed them this store. I forget the store's name off the top of my head, but every item they were selling said dent and scratch in the title, right? Mm. And they're using stock photos for everything, and this is all liquidation. And they actually have a full warehouse with their name on it, and it's like a big operation. They have a lot of listings up, and they have like a 97.3% feedback. They don't mention anything wrong with the item either, and people are like leaving negatives saying this was beat up, had broken parts. It's like, man, how are these people allowed to continue to sell on eBay? Mm-hmm. But they make so much money for eBay. eBay is not going to get rid of them. Yeah. TikTok says, do not send things yet. There's so much confusion in North Carolina, only through local churches here. Yeah. You can look up online. Yeah. Wolfman is taking off. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Beard says, the look on your face every time Dora's song was worth it. I just trying to get what you're saying, but I won't make a look next time. Tommy Z says, thank you for another great live. Still my favorite reselling couple.
Well, we love you, Tommy.
Yes. Oh, and if you guys are curious, the name of the company, the name of the store on eBay was Retail King Business. And if you want to look up an operation that it's just like you'll scratch your head going. They even had shoes that had scratch and dent in the title. They had a pair of shoes.
Wow.
Like
that just seems like lazy work.
It is. But it's like, okay, that's our way of not putting anything in the description and to say it's parts of repair. But none of it was sold under that condition. And Mike started using the tool. Susan says, also saw 50 Walmart trucks and other trucks going into Asheville. Mm-hmm. Also saw one FEMA person had a whopping for being aggressive. Rude. Locals had enough.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did see something like that too.
TikTok says I have scratch and dent shoes that I wear. Yeah, those are my work shoes.
Those are the work shoes.
So guys, you know what? I didn't have to skip comments.
Well, you kind of did.
Not really. I was really on my game. Even though you intervened a lot, I was on it today. So I'm very happy with
it. It's 5 o'clock.
We did it within 2 hours. So we did it.
To the minute.
But we can't do it without you guys. So thank you for being here. And really, eBay, if you're out there, my message is that you can simplify things if you start looking at it from a seller's point of view, and understand that if you start maybe trying to help us minimize the pain points, such as returns due to misunderstandings that are caused because maybe the buyer just didn't see the link to click on the item description, and had they known there was an issue with the item, they may have not bought it in the first place. But I want eBay to know that they have a huge role in this, and we can't all just put it on the buyer. But accepting that and looking at it as just a distraction and an obstacle that we as sellers have to navigate around is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Want you guys to have an excellent week, and we will talk to you guys very soon.
Have a great week. We love you. Everybody stay safe. Get to higher ground. We love you so much. Make sure you check in with your loved ones to let them know that you're okay and you're coming out on the other side.
And be on the lookout for the Members Only Live on Wednesday. Hope to see many of you there. And if not, we'll see you on Friday's live.